These crackers would be a lot better with some cheese.
This is not a tea party.
Too much.
There was some movie where they had a kid named Cheese. What was it?
Old school. Cheese.
I should have had Cheese Whiz. That was the secret.
That was perfect.
That was the secret.
Yeah.
The Cheese Whiz.
Should have brought it.
Hello, everyone. My name is John Edwards, and with me, as always, is Zeke Baker, and together we make the Dad's Drinking Bourbon. Wherever you are, whatever time it is, thank you for making us part of your day. How are you, Zeke Baker?
Hey, we're dad sharing bourbon tonight.
We are Dad Sharing Bourbon. It is the Wednesday before Thanksgiving, and I banged my fist on the table for that because normally I hate that.
I'm just happy you're banging.
I am too.
It's a dad's podcast.
It is a dad's podcast, but we are inclusive to everyone. There are moms. There are dog moms, cat moms, dog dads, cat
Parrot
dads. What?
Parrot mom?
Do you have a parrot?
I don't know. Maybe I do.
I don't hear the
I was
parrot.
thinking ferret.
Ferret?
Well, it is the day before Thanksgiving, and it's apropos that this tasting has been delayed about 5 months because we just happened to make it the day before Thanksgiving. It's going to come out. What better way to give back? Now, every year, Zeke, you and I, we donate a tasting to St. Jude, don't we?
Well, it's been 2 in a row. I don't know if you could throw every out there too applicable.
Well, it's been every year that we could that somebody has come to us and said, "Hey, do you want to donate a tasting to St. Jude?" Yes,
fair enough.
we do. Continue to sign us up in years moving forward, and every year the same people for some reason pay St. Jude to hang out with us.
It's the only way we can hang out, John.
No, it's we were at Top Golf together.
Oh, we kind of were.
We were in separate.
He just randomly
bays.
showed up at a bay next to me. He calls it together.
I asked you how you were hitting him.
Well, it was very well, thanks.
Did he crop dust you as he was walking off?
Probably.
So I just want to make sure I say thank you guys very, very, very much for donating to St. Jude. That is going to children's cancer research. You went to the event, Nick, and everybody say hi. So go ahead and introduce yourself, say your name, rank, serial number.
My name is Nick Jones. I'm a dad of 2 little girls. My serial number is 747. I just I enjoy drinking bourbon.
Hi, I'm Scott Hubert. I'm Nick's father-in-law, and
You're just here because he has to impress you?
no,
That's it.
absolutely
Yeah.
not. I love drinking bourbon as well, but
I got him
proud
into it.
grandfather of 2 gorgeous little girls, and love drinking bourbon, and love supporting St. Jude's, and love hanging out with John and Zeke.
I just it's like the Marshawn Lynch thing, and Scott, I'm not trying to, it's like, I just invited him so I wouldn't get fined.
No, not at all.
Exactly.
On a side note, that
I would say the times that we have hung out, I mean, you two are in a Top Golf league together. You guys
Every
are,
Top Golf league, Top Golf has offered. Scott and I have played in it.
You all are very,
As-
very lucky that you have a great relationship as
Very much so.
father-in-law and
Correct.
son-in-law. So
Great.
that's great.
yeah, very much so, because myself and Nick, we get together quite a bit with my wife and daughter and the granddaughters, and on a
Every
side
day.
note, and we sneak in a couple bourbon shots here and there, and I get
Every
in trouble,
day.
and Nick goes home alone. No, it's all good. We have a great time together. It's all fun.
Who is this little guy
Last
over
but
here?
not least,
Yep.
our favorite guy who discovered Old Granddad bottled in bond last year and now claims that he does not go a day without a bottle of it in his house. Introduce yourself
A bottle
to the folks.
down his throat, I think he said.
I'm Ryan. I'm Nick and Scott's good friend. I do not have any kids. Maybe in the future, but not right now. But yes, I agree.
Any kids that you know about.
Yeah, true. Very true. But I definitely do not leave the house without making sure I have a bottle of Old Granddad, which
In hand.
John and Zeke make sure that they kind of pushed that on me as a.
Oh, we didn't put we
Whoa.
just
You didn't push
presented
it, but it was a good suggestion. So I will definitely make sure I will always have a bottle of that in my house for the near future.
Well, now that we got introductions out of the way, I want to let you know today's show is brought to you by CaskCartel.com, changing the industry standard of how you get your alcohol. Yo, Nick, you could be sitting on your couch. You got a nice house here. We're in your house today. You could be on a late night trip and you go to your cabinet and you realize, like, oh shit, I'm out of gin. I'm out of vodka. I want to make a Bloody Mary tonight, or I want to be making a Bloody Mary tomorrow night. And you're like, I got to go buy some other stuff. I don't have time to get to the liquor store tomorrow. I could go to CaskCartel.com. I can get it delivered right to my door, whether it's bourbon, whiskey, scotch, vodka, tequila, mezcal, whatever it is, Cask Cartel has it. And Zeke, Cask Cartel also sent us Pappy 15, 20, and 23. We're going to do a show about it.
I just hope they got some screwballs.
Oh, funny enough, they sent us 4 samples. No lie. You can't make this shit up. They sent us Pappy 15, 20, 23, and a sample of Screwball.
Well, there you go.
So they know us well. That's the partnership right there. But they are also giving away samples of that stuff to people that are on Instagram. And I will let you know an exclusive. We're going to be giving a set of the Pappy away, one on our Instagram page and one in our Facebook group. So if you're not already in our Facebook group, Dad's Drinking Bourbon, go ahead and join. We are going to give away a sample set of the Pappy. And if you're not following us on Instagram, follow us at Dad's Drinking Bourbon on Instagram, and we will be giving away a set there as well. CaskCartel.com, changing the industry standard, bringing the world's best spirits directly to your door. That's the admin stuff.
Oh, there you go.
I'm here so I won't get fined.
You'll get fined later, don't worry.
Now, we don't really have a set agenda, and I want to do less talking because I always
Who wants
feel
a bacon Ritz?
Nobody.
I need some cheese whiz.
You got any cheese?
I want to ask you, and Nick, I'm going to start with you. There was a lot of stuff that was on the table. We kind of feel like the last tasting we did with you was more of an introduction to a lot of different whiskeys. This is now grad school. So we have some Willet that's on the table. We have some nice OWA picks. We have a William LaRue Weller. We have some Pappy on the table. There's some other assorted picks that we brought, a Wild Turkey Cornerstone. What was your favorite thing on the table, Nick? And then we will go around and ask Scott and Ryan.
Oh, man, I mean, there's a close tie between the Weller Antique.
The Grandpa's Wallet from Lincoln Road, Wine and Spirits, Hattiesburg, Mississippi.
And then, I mean, I really liked the mixed bottle that...
the blackout blend of the turkey.
That's it. I like that one.
It's unique.
It is.
I think that's what makes it stand out even more.
Like off the books. Either way, this one actually I had the last the Ashton. That's my.
It's special. I've told folks like that's a really good barrel.
That's probably those are my 3 and that's my favorite on the last one.
Your favorite was Grandpa's Wallet.
It was a good one, and I'm yet to try the
You
Angels.
didn't have the unicorn yet.
I have not had the unicorn, and I'm excited.
I told everybody when we were setting up bottles, I was like,
You got to have
Save
it.
it for
I need it for the last one.
you
That's
have
why
to have
I'm-
it, but to me, it's just so distinctive and like
My palate's still open.
such a big flavor. I
You
think
can
it
smell it.
lingers for forever.
I can smell it all the way over here. It's one of those things that it just comes.
You sure
It's
that was
so-
the bottle or Ryan?
Pour this on a waffle and just.
I can smell Ryan from over here.
That's
but
what we said.
a
It's like
different story.
you put that on a little bit of waffle or pancake. Just, noma.
Now, Scott, what was your favorite thing that was on the table?
Well, we started out with the...
You're fine if you only have one. You don't have to be like your son-in-law that gave me 8.
No. William LaRue Weller is what we started with.
And you killed that bottle.
I wasn't.
Thankfully,
a fan.
it was
I wasn't a
Zeke's.
fan because, as the last podcast, I'm more the smooth small batch guy. That was 135 proof, and that was a little bit rough to start out the day with me. But my favorite of all was the Weller Antique 107.
Can I
What is-
blow your mind right now?
Yeah, sure.
That's the same mash bill.
Really? I can tell you this. That was the William LaRoe Weller was wicked on fire compared to the antique. The antique was more smooth,
It's
and that's more what I like.
I mean, it's the lower proof. It's a lower age on the Weller Antique opposed to the William LaRoe Weller. So it's the same mash bill. Obviously, there's a whole bunch of factors like where it was aging in the rick house, all sorts of things like that. But it's the same. It's pretty much the same.
But my favorite was the Weller. Second was this Baker's 107.
85 Bakers.
Yeah. And then my third was this Willet 7-year-old.
It's gone.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the high corn. It's got a good sweet to
And
it.
I was actually surprised because I actually like the Angel's Envy finished rye.
The unicorn.
Cast strength.
There's one barrel and one barrel only.
As I take it under my...
So you're actually
taking-
never going to see another bottle of that.
Yeah, that
Probably.
was really good. I was surprised because I didn't think I'd like that. Because you guys told us at the beginning, hey, wait for the end to finish that one because it has a little bit of a kick to it.
No, not that it has a
Tastes
kick.
like maple syrup, and it just
Say,
keeps
it
doing
was
it.
very
I
good.
just worry that it coats everything so much. Like,
Yeah.
you could have 3 pours after that, and then have those 3 pours a day later, and be like, that's not what I tasted. It
Yeah.
was sweet the first time.
That Angel's Envy had a different finish and taste. It was good for me though because I'm normally a smooth small batch guy.
But-
But that Angel's Envy finished rye was really very good.
That's a good point, too. Like on the 107s, that's what some people grew up loving, and it's just such an easy drinker. Whereas, something like the William LaRoe, you get a small pour in a Glen or a small glass, and you're sipping it. I mean, it's,
Yeah.
thimble-sized tastings like communion or something, because the proof, you can't get a big gulp of it.
Yeah.
Whereas, that 107 proof to me is always, whether it was the Bakers or the Weller, easy enough just to sit there, kick back, throw your feet up, and if I pour a little too much because it's late and I'm already leaned back too far in the chair, it's still not going to hurt me. And
Yeah.
I'll just sleep a little bit better.
Yeah. And,
That Angel's Envy has a little bit more floral in it than I remember. I mean, I still get the syrup. Don't get me wrong. It's still breakfast, but it's almost like a little bit of flowers on the tail end of the sweetness of the syrup.
I'm with you.
It didn't have that the first time we had it. Sorry, Scott, you were going to say something.
no. All I would have done different tonight is I probably wouldn't have started with the William LaRoe. Probably would have started with something along the lines of the Weller Antique. And then built myself up because that was rough going out the gate.
You're not.
Yeah.
I think it would have been hot either way,
Yeah.
honestly.
He's a high. He's not a high proof.
Yeah.
fan.
And some people even say that do tastings a lot, that the first thing they'll get out of the gate is something super high proof, just to quote unquote wake everything up, and then flip back and will progress up. But
the
they,
Kentucky Kiss.
but they just say that super high proof to begin with.
And then
Like,
you got that Kentucky
just
hug.
wakes
It's the
everything
throwaway. It's your first sip is always going to be a throwaway. So you might as well do something high proof and just get out of the way.
Yeah, but I like the Angel's Envy though. And that's kind of a little bit higher than the,
Yeah, I
than
think
the
it's-
Weller.
You
It's a
would
fair
because it's
proof.
the only bottle that we will ever see.
it's sweet. I mean,
It's so good.
That is maple syrup. I think in that
Literally just pour that on some pancakes and
Zeke put maple syrup in a bottle and added
I
like,
promise
a little bit of
I have
bourbon in there.
not adulterated it in any way. I just keep it hid from myself even.
You're right. It lingers, man. That's a lingerer.
What about you, Ryan?
I personally love the William LaRoe Weller. That was kind of the one that when we saw the preview of what was coming tonight, like that was the one I was most excited about. I love sweet bourbons. That one, we started out with it. I kind of chose that one as the first one, and I definitely like that one probably the best. And then, of course, the Angel's Envy Unicorn is... I'm glad I tried it at the end, like everyone said. Like, that is definitely one that if I had it in the middle, it would definitely change the flavor profile of everything else. I mean, it literally is like maple syrup in a bottle, and I personally loved it, still enjoying it now. And as weird as it sounds, my third favorite was the Tyrannosaurus Rex, the one from Taiwan or Japan, however you want to call it. You know,
I mean, they're all
we go there, but
same. No, they're not.
I
at all.
enjoyed that one. It is very unique flavor profile, and as Zeke said when he read what came with the bottles, that you taste kiwi. And after he told me about that, after I tried it, I definitely was like, yes, that is something that stuck in my mind. And I tried it again and tried to see if I could see something else, but no, it was all kiwi to me. But, you know, I'm still young. I'm the youngest person
Is that a
on
saying?
this
Like,
podcast.
it's all kiwi to me. Like a new
Honestly, I like
saying.
kiwi.
I'm the same way. Like I read
like
that note
kiwi.
months ago. I've tried it since then, and still I'm just like,
It's all Yankee Candle
it's
to
like
me.
some kind of
That's,
weird deer in the headlights thing. Is just all you see. I will just
What
laugh.
is this? Every 7 years your taste buds change, so
Well, I mean, he's young. He's young.
I've
But
heard that theory's
Still young.
been debunked a little bit, but who knows?
Okay.
Well, tonight
every
we are
time
gone.
you have a kid, your taste buds change. He hasn't
I
had any
haven't
kids
had one
yet.
so
See?
I will
That's
say
more
though,
for your wife,
he-
not you.
Oh, wait. I mean, I've had.
He didn't.
kids.
He didn't kind of like eyeball the weed in the room. It was like, yeah, this is what's first. we all look around like, hey, well, grab
He was
something.
like-
They're all here for
He
drinking.
walked in the door going,
There's like awkward silence, awkward silence. Well, let me go ahead and get this party started.
He did, and there was. It's like, oh, we're just gonna finish this. Oh,
yeah.
But you know, honestly, I just laugh. Like that's the best part. It's like, all right, you really got to try something that you really want to try. I mean,
Right.
that's
He's like, I scoped this out on Instagram first.
exactly.
And as a plus one, we got to have it before John got here, and it got polished
Hey,
off.
that's perfect.
You just got to
I
look
mean,
at
there
it.
was really only 5 tastings in there left. I mean, if there were 6, it would have been spread pretty thin.
You got any cheese?
Oh, I've got some bacon crackers though.
Nobody cares. Nobody wants your.
How about a pistachio?
I had a couple pistachios. I like the Chex Mix as well.
I'm a big fan of a Gouda. Can I get a fancy Gouda?
A nice brie.
There weren't enough rye chips in the Chex Mix. I'll say
Man,
that much.
you guys
I cherry picked those things. I haven't found
I
one
didn't
to
get the.
cherry-pick.
It wasn't the bold Chex Mix.
All I wondered if like you were also a fan and the bag was already open before we got here and you cherry picked them all one night.
I didn't. My daughters and my wife might have.
Because literally we had this same experience.
It was all pretzels left at the end.
Some trip we had back to like my parents' house, I got into a bag of Chex Mix and notably ate all the rye chips. And we bring the rest of the bag back. And like 2 or 3 nights later, I mean, what asshole in your family ate all the rye chips? There's none in here.
They're the
And
best
I'm like,
part.
well, it was me. But who are you calling an asshole in my family?
You can buy a bag of rye chips now.
You gotta tell her you were just tasting, like you were practicing for the podcast.
No, I was just cherry picking.
No, but you can just spin it and just be like, "Honey, this is rye."
Either way, they were gone. That was going to go.
Would you like a bacon Ritz or a regular Ritz? John, which one would you rather have?
Regular with cheese.
regular. I'm a regular Ritz guy.
The bacon Ritz were so good.
The regular Ritz are so good.
So
But they were not the big seller on the plate.
Let's take this to the Dad's Drinking Bourbon Facebook group, and we'll find
Yeah,
out
let's
bacon
do that,
Ritz
yeah.
versus regular Ritz.
with or
Because
without
you know what?
cheese.
We have gone through a
Oh no, it's
entire
with
box.
cheese. Don't worry, we know it's
There
with
is no
cheese.
cheese.
Can we just do an embargo? I'm going to do this for Nick. Let's do an embargo on bringing up cheese because I think it's losing. It's like people are going to be listening, going, "I don't know why they keep talking about cheese."
I don't know why
not
he,
a women's
I don't
It's
know
not
why
like
he
we're
didn't
from
bring
Wisconsin or
cheese.
anything.
He's from Wisconsin, right?
Don't you carry cheese in your pocket if you're from Wisconsin?
I do. I mean, do you want to see my cheese in my pocket?
that's how curds get formed.
Yeah, I thought that's how you made curds.
You want to see it?
No, we don't want to see. Now, it's been a long time since we hung out, besides Topgolf. Getting together and drinking, it has been a long time. What kind of stuff have you guys been drinking over the past year? What'd you like the most? And it's almost the end of the year, so let's get a quasi-teaser to the end of the year show with you guys. What's some stuff that you really enjoyed this year and stuff you wish was a little bit better?
Ooh, good question.
Best thing you've tried so far this year besides the stuff you had here tonight?
No, I know that. I've been a big fan of the 1910 after we did Old Forester tour. I've heard it was good, then tried it. It was really good. Somebody else said 1920 was better than 1910. Tried 1920. They were both good.
It's splitting hairs to a degree on those two. I mean, I think it's kind of a
They were
mood thing,
both good.
especially with the proof difference. Like one's just, all right, I need a good pour, not something that's gonna make me pump the brakes a little bit.
Yeah, so there you get the 1920. You're going to get heat. So 1910 is going to be my go-to pour lately.
Last year or so, I'm kind of keen on Eagles Rare. Really like that. And also Michter's. I'm kind of getting keen on that. But
Regular US 1, or
Yeah.
has Nick got you up into some of the more allocated stuff yet?
nah.
No. I haven't got any of the allocated stuff yet.
Yeah.
But the Michter's Rye, we've been doing the old fashions on
Yeah.
Michter's Rye.
Plain
Yeah.
Maker Sour Mash, I like a lot.
And
It's an
that's,
easy drink.
that's the
that's
thing
a good
with
one, too.
That's
Yeah.
the big thing with me with the old fashions. I like the old fashions, but I don't like them real sugary and sweet. And I'm
Might
not
as
a
well be
big
a Shirley
fan.
Temple.
Not so much a big fan
because
of
I
that.
put my finger in it, Scott.
Yeah, but the other one that I'm starting to enjoy is Blanton's.
It is a great pour, but it's become so allocated, and the stores can't get them, and there's such a craze. You laugh like more than one local here that we're good friends with, and they're talking about what Buffalo Trace is offered them for picks, and you got to pick what do you want to get. Somewhere between Eagle Rare, Buffalo Trace as it is, Blanton's, OWA, or Weller Full Proof, whatever. And laughably, I always kept saying this year, we should do a Blanton's pick. Like, why would you do a Blanton's pick? Like, because people love it. They're like, no, we're going to do this. You got to do an Eagle Rare because they came back. They were off the market for a year. Who says no to a Weller pick? And I'm just laughing I know exactly what you're saying, but I feel like right now where the market is, somehow Blanton's is in the most desire. And, literally as we're having this conversation, 3 or 4 people walk in the store. Hey, man, you got any Blanton's? No, dude.
Yeah.
Check right out. I'm just laughing I didn't pay them to come in here. This is just pure coincidence. But at the same time, it's just laughable to such a degree of it's good as it is, and the picks obviously can be even better. But how did this become in that space?
Well, and Zeke and I, as we were looking at what the expected yield is out of all of these two, Blanton's has the highest yield out of all the things that are there. It's an $80 bottle now retail. Why would you not take the thing that had the highest yield? But Scott, you were going to say something.
Yeah, in reference to the Blantons, before I really got into bourbon tasting and stuff with Nick, about 2-3 years ago, I was at a liquor store and I walked in there and they had a Blanton's pick for that liquor store, a barrel pick.
Yep.
And I was like, I'm not going to get it.
Wish you got it now.
Yeah, I really do. And now I go back in that liquor store constantly because they had that barrel pick, and I'm thinking, well, if they were going to do that barrel pick back then, and now it's escalated tenfold, it's maybe they knew something that I didn't back then. So it's kind of cool because back then I didn't know nothing about it, and noted, most people in Nashville weren't aware of all the Blanton's picks, and now I guarantee you I could probably sell that. But I'm not into selling it, but I would more drink it. I want to taste stuff like that.
If anything, at least that should be the first one to come back, considering it's aged the least.
Yeah.
If, the amount of production Buffalo Trace is putting out, does add up to, where they say it should be, then that's the youngest of all that line. So that should be the first one to come back. We'll see if that holds true or not.
Yeah.
One thing I would tell you is you might want to try some Old Elk or some Chattanooga whiskey. And those are going to be both 2 bourbons with a high malt content. So the percentage of malt in the mash bill is going to be much higher than it would in other whiskeys and other bourbons. And you might find, as someone who uses the word smooth a lot, as you do,
Yeah.
you'll find that the high malt content will make those a little bit smoother than some other whiskeys you have. The good news is like Chattanooga is $30 to $35 for their 91 proof. Even their 111 proof is going to be $40 to $45. Picks of Old Elk will be more, but the regular Old Elk, what is it, Zeke?
I think 45.
Yeah. Nothing too crazy, but Chattanooga will be more the bang for the buck. It's right here in the state, and it's an amazing pour, but I would go ahead and try both of those.
Yeah.
And then
I will.
come back and report in a year.
I will.
No, hopefully we have...
Or sooner, hopefully.
Way sooner.
Way
than that.
I know,
Yeah,
I
way
said
sooner.
hopefully it comes on sooner. What's the best thing you've had, Ryan?
I really enjoy the Stag Junior 132.2. I found that randomly at a small hole-in-the-wall liquor store, tried it, and it definitely punched you in the face right at the beginning, but it was that one taste you're like, man, that hits me hard, but at the end you're like, ooh, that is good. It's kind of like that, when you're back in high school, that girl that's like, oh, everybody wants her, but at the end you're like, ooh, maybe I actually want to start dating her, because she's that girl that, maybe I can bring home to mom and dad. I definitely enjoy that pick. I am in the search of finding another one. So if anyone has any leads, let me know.
All I can say is when this year's Stag was cracked recently, that ended up getting poured as well. Nobody in the room would say that it didn't measure up at least 50-50 to this year's GTS as far as hanging with it and offering that much of a bang for the buck kind of pour.
Trust me, I wish I could try some, GTS, but I unfortunately have not been lucky enough to find one.
Well, Stag Junior and Blanton's, the two that you guys have just been talking about, those are showing up in allocated raffles
It's
for stores and in the allocated day. It's not one of those things where you can just do whatever the hell you want now. It's the days of Blanton's being plentiful and on the shelf are over.
I remember 3-4 years ago when I walked into a liquor store to buy a gift for somebody and they were like, hey, try this bottle of, Blanton's. It was, reasonable. And you're like, well, I don't know. I've never heard of this. But now, like, everybody wants it. And for me, you walk into a liquor store and that's the first thing you ask for. And they're like, oh, well, no, I have none. You'll have to come back later. Like, it just surprises me considering it's only been 3 to 4 years since you could regularly find that on a shelf somewhere.
So I would say your analogy's off a little bit. So, you were saying that Stag Junior is the hot girl that talks to you. Stag Junior is like not the head cheerleader, but it's the solid 6. Like you're a 4, Stag Junior is a 5 or a 6. I'm not talking about 5 or 6 out of 10 for taste. I'm talking about like hotness scale. Zeke's eyes. Like if the head cheerleader is a 10, you got yourself a solid 6.
What are you equating to as a 10 then?
We're talking
The hottest girl in the world.
Well, I understand that, but you have to use some kind of bourbon since you have that for a 5 and a 6.
Whatever bourbon is your hottest bourbon.
Well, okay, you've put Stag at a 6 and Blanton's at a 5, so what do you put as a 10?
I didn't put Blanton's at a 5. Where'd you get that?
Well, either way, you put Stag at a 6, so let's...
Well, I'm just saying, I'm throwing an analogy.
You can't have apples to pineapples. You got to have apples to apples. So
Say they're both 5s.
What's your 10?
Yeah, come on, answer the question.
Al Young.
Okay.
Al Young, George T. Stagg from 2004, Cheesy Gold Foil from Wild Turkey, and there's plenty of
We
stuff.
just need some point of reference here.
There's a point of reference. Those are 10s.
You're like blindfold us and send it out in the
Chestnut.
desert.
The old chessmen, those things are 10s, right? The rest of the stuff is, say this is like a 5. It's a substitute. It's not the hottest chick in the room, but it's a chick that'll talk to you. That's what Stag Junior is.
Yeah, that's how I got married. Oh, wait. Whoops. Oh,
Now you had a present for your father-in-law because we mentioned he needs to try Old Elk, and you went to the cabinet and there was a bottle that you actually had sealed. Do you want to tell us what you unsealed for your
I did
your
unseal
father-in-law?
the Old Elk barrel pick from Barrels and Brews, single barrel select.
What do you think, Scott?
I'll just say, first of all, before that,
Hold on,
Nick-
go back.
Stag Junior hits higher than a 6. The good batches for sure.
I'm just
The
talking about,
132.2.
I don't think it's a 10.
I didn't say it was a 10.
hey,
What?
We're talking about the Old Elk.
You're going.
Yeah, we're talking about Old Elk here.
Especially if
We're
you're
talking
like
about
if
me.
you're in the terms like a bell curve, a 6 is in the middle of the bell curve. A 10's at
You're
the
reading too much into the
you
analogy.
go in that corner. You go in that corner.
You're reading way too much into the analogy here.
I'm just trying to
Fight
help you.
Club is ensued here.
No, this is typical.
Oh,
So Scott, you have been drinking on this Old Elk. What did you think?
It's a little hot, but I really like it. It's kind of like the Angel's Envy, where it's, for me,
I mean, for you it
you know,
is.
everybody has different tastes.
It is a fresh crack, so
Yeah,
you got to give
yeah.
it some time open. There are two different types of Old Elk, but not to keep inundating you with information. But there's a lower proof, and then there's these barrel picks. You might want to try a lower proof when you say this is a little hot. Try the other one that is not a store pick, that is just the regular thing off the
No,
shelf.
most of these picks, honestly,
Yeah.
we don't do water much, but they really did well with just a few drops.
Yeah.
They went from, I got the same heat you did, honestly, but a few drops, it subdues into just this very creamy profile.
Yeah, when I say it's a little hot, though, I mean, it's not comparable to the Willow LaRue or anything like that. It's in the middle. And obviously the Weller Antique is my favorite. We've already talked about that.
Grandpa's wallet.
But it's somewhere in the middle where initially it gives me a little hot taste and then it smooths out.
No, I
like
got
it.
that
I
from
like
the picks
it a
I've
lot.
had. Again,
Thinking one
it's one of the few things where I really said like just a little smidge of water puts it in a really creamy spot and it just gets a lot more mellow.
That's good. I like it a lot better than a lot of the Willets that I've had tonight. And a lot of people say differently about the Willets. And
and that is the Old Elk. We just put some water in
yeah,
for you.
yeah, I
They're
know.
castrated.
Right.
Oh no, I'm explaining to the people that
Yeah.
can't see
Yeah.
that we just
Gotcha.
put some water in.
We're talking
But I'm
about
not
this.
allowed to be an ass.
Well, John put some water in the glass and also got the sweat off his head. It was
Yeah.
It was. I told Johnny he was sweating.
And I said, no shit, fat people sweat.
Well, I was just like being conscious about the way you were sweating. I'm like, I was handing you a towel.
I don't need your charity towel.
But with that being said, though, I'm more of the person that likes a smooth batch, the 90 to 100 proof, versus the hot ones.
And that's the good thing when you put some water in, you're actually lowering the proof at the same time, so you're all set.
And a lot of times when I drink whiskey, I'll drop a couple ice cubes in there for that
there
reason.
you go. Yeah.
So
Zeke's all about these pistachios.
I'm all about some cheddar.
just water, man.
On that note, I should say it is always a pleasure to have you guys here. We've had a blast. You've obviously had a big blast tasting through.
Before you
all
wrap
these.
this up,
What do you have?
so we did like favorite pours.
Yeah.
What was the most deflating almost?
Ooh.
Well, we already
I'll give you
know
that.
Well, not
with William LaRue Weller.
Not to throw shade or anything, but there's stuff out there that has plenty of hype on boards, sells for tons on secondary, and
I was trying
Admittedly-
to keep it positive.
people don't like. Oh no, we're always for the people, and we don't want anybody wasting money on things that
Yeah.
people may not enjoy. So I think this is very relevant.
I mean, it's
Yeah.
all based on taste, but the Van Winkle 13 year was
The rye.
The rye.
But
Not
that
my
is a
favorite.
certain batch.
What's an F series?
Yeah. Because there's different ones.
Either way. I mean, I'll still put the 15-year Pappy on that same train,
Especially for what you're going to pay for it at the bar.
right?
I'm on
There's
this-
way better pours out there than the Pappies and those like hard to find things. I mean, I don't know. Yeah, good.
I'm right there with Nick. I mean, I personally did not enjoy the old Rip Van Winkle 10-year. I mean, to me, that was my least favorite of them all. But it's one of those that, like, in your head, everyone says, "Oh, like Pappy Van Winkle, like you have to try this. This is the bourbon of the bourbons to try." And you know, most people you talk to are like, "Hey, try it and let me know what you think," because most of the people have in their back of their head like, "Hey, this is." You can get better pours for the same price.
It's gonna be good, damn it! It better be. I paid for it.
The price I'm paying for this, it better be damn good.
Yeah, no.
I just
At the
don't.
same
I don't know
time-
how to put into a gamut of the amount of like the Willet years that we've
Oh,
had in front of us tonight.
You've got
And
sourced
they're,
and owned juice, and plus,
just
like I say,
amazing.
there are multiple sources to it.
Yeah, we've tried some good ones there. We've just had a really great night, and I really appreciate Dad's Drinking Bourbon for doing everything for St. Jude and everything you've done.
There are so many ways to give back, whether or not you are using, you know, different organizations like St. Jude, finding things like Bourbon Charity. You're going to events like what the Bourbon Crusaders did, but you know, go ahead. I know Bourbon Charity, they're actually doing their big Thanksgiving Day fundraiser. It's a 6 millionth barrel to give thanks. That will still be going. Well, no, it'll be done. The pick will almost be happening at this point. So I hope you donated to Bourbon Charity. Look for them in the future. They do a big thing on Father's Day every year. Whoa. Lights just flickered.
It's a Dad's Drinking Bourbon thing.
It is the spirits of bourbon's past.
It is.
Find lots of ways to give back. You know, the good thing is there's a lot of people in bourbon that are giving back, and it's super important. But thank you guys for being the ones to donate to St. Jude to taste some really good whiskey.
Thank you both for just, really opening up your cabinets. I mean,
Thanks, Zeke.
to St.
Definitely
Jude.
is.
It's a crawl space.
Yeah.
If you could, this is like a unicorn fest here on the cabinet. I just really appreciate you both.
No, I mean, I laughed so much when John was like, "Oh,
we do."
The same group bought the tasting again. I'm like, no shit. Like, man, all right, well, we're going next level this time. Like, they won't do this again. Like, all right, we're going balls out.
Well, next year, I think you might have some people, after hearing this one and everything that was here, or they might be bidding against you.
Yeah, we have 10 different Willets and a couple Pappies and quite a few other picks that they've sponsored tonight. Thank you, guys.
Definitely. Thank you for opening, like I said, opening up your cabinet, crawl space, whatever it is, to let us try some unique things that, you know, as a normal person, we could never try.
Hey, next time bring cheese, please.
Had I known, I would have stopped at the grocery store on the way. I will let you know.
I thought pistachios were enough.
You're always enough for me, just you being here. I do want to let you know before we leave, all of our glassware is provided by distilleryproducts.com. If you are in the industry, if you work at a distillery, you probably already know about distilleryproducts.com. They're awesome. They have the Tua glass, they have the Glencairn, they have the Dram glass, which is that one that anybody that goes to Willet comes back and goes, man, I really like that Dram glass. They actually have wee Glencairn. So if you are a distillery, you're a bourbon group, and you want laser etched Glencairns or laser etched glassware, decanters, whatever it is, go to distilleryproducts.com. They also have really cool things on there like flasks and tumblers, all sorts of cool stuff. You just get wholesale prices and wholesale quantities, but it's really, really, really good. If you want me to hook you up with distilleryproducts.com, go ahead and send me an email. Reach out to me on Facebook, reach out to me on Instagram, whatever it is. I'll hook you up with distilleryproducts.com. All of you, thank you so much. Thank you for giving to St. Jude. I would encourage everybody to go ahead and find St. Jude, donate to St. Jude, give back through bourbon, give back on your own, volunteer. At this time of the year. We're very grateful for each and every one of you. We're grateful for family. We're grateful for friends. And it's a great time to take some inventory and take some stock and say, how can I give back to others? And that's what these guys have done. So thank you so much for that. You can find us on Facebook at Dad's Drinking Bourbon, Twitter at Bourbon Dads, Instagram at Dad's Drinking Bourbon. Please go ahead and find us wherever you download your podcast. Leave us an open and honest review, just like we leave open and honest reviews about the whiskey we drink. Zeke, where else can the folks find us?
Nashville, Tennessee.
Thank you, everyone, for coming. Happy Thanksgiving.
Thank you.
Good night. Ciao.